And welcome to the Oprah Diddy Show, where today we're going to talk about, do you need mom's help? We've got Monique Wells here, and I want to throw this right over so she can introduce herself and tell us just a little bit about who moms is, or what moms is, rather.
Good evening, everyone. What she call herself? Oprah Diddy. Like Miss Latoya Oprah Diddy said, my name is Monique Wells. I'm a native of Indianapolis, born and raised. Whoop whoop, Naptown in the house. And I am the founder and CEO of Mothers Overcoming Marginal Systems, which is a nonprofit that I've been having since 2020. When the pandemic hit, I just was like, okay, God, it's time for me to get my notebook out and revisit the vision that you gave me in 2017 when I graduated from American Baptist College. And so I just, began where I knew to begin. And so far, so good. I'm still in the startup phase because, I'm waiting to get that money to be able to do this full time and also be able to employ other single mothers where they can work around their children's school schedules or work around their school schedules or however, because I definitely understand what that struggle looks like.
Well, I think that is an amazing organization that you have. I know we personally have had to work together a little bit over the last couple of weeks. So I've learned a lot about your initiative. And I think what you're doing is making a huge impact, not just in the Nashville location, but to women all over. Talk to people just a little bit about what Moms does in the community.
Right now, I host free community classes each month on topics geared around what the month is known for or just whatever God gives me. This month is National Disability Awareness Month, and as a special needs mother, I'm going to have like a community fair where I've invited, people from the community, the Arc of Davidson County, different places such as that offer resources for family with disabled children or family members to come and learn about the resources that's available. Being out sometimes talking to people, a lot of people just don't know what all they qualify for. And so my whole thing is wanting to see people educated and empowered because I don't want people to perish on my watch. So we're having that this Saturday at the Bordeaux Library from 2 to 4. August is the month that I set aside for my annual cookout. So this year is going to be my third annual cookout at Fanny D's Park on August the 12th from 11:30 to 2. And Jack's Barbecue is going to sponsor the food for that. So I'm excited. Praise God. Look at God working.
Yes.
And so that's major for me because in the past I've been cooking, cutting up vegetables when I come home from work, feet and legs already hurting, and then gotta come home and do all of this extra work. So God has heard my prayer. So I'm so excited about that. We're gonna have TNT explosive out there doing face painting. We're gonna have vendors. So that's just my way of giving back. As I grow and get more funding, I'll be able to do more, like offer, school supplies and things of that nature, toiletries. So I'm just, trying to do my part to help my single mothers because I know it's hard out here. And with the price of food, I just left the grocery store, girl, and I was almost wanting to cry. Okay, like it's so depressing. Like you just really be walking down the aisles and you like still not picking up nothing. And then when you get to the checkout, you don't even have one pack of meat for real. And you done spent $150 like on what? And so with that, the cost of living here in Nashville is very expensive, not affordable. So there's just a lot of things that families are facing, issues, homelessness, wanting to go back and better education, get better their education. Some people still need GEDs, or HACCP testings and things. So whatever I can do to assist in the areas of employment, education, and counseling services, then that's what Moms does.
I love that. Shout out to you because you've told me about bootstrapping and making sure that these events are coming together and a lot of it is coming out of your pocket. Talk a little bit about how you got your sponsorship with Jax to do your food for you on your event. I think that'll be helpful for other business owners to understand how you can go out and find other places that can help you piece things together.
Well, actually, it's the work there. So, I kind of knew the process. It's changed a little bit. And then I do have my 504. So,
Okay.
a lot of businesses are apt to help nonprofits or people who have their paperwork to, show that they are tax exempt or whatever the correct terminology is. So, I just reached out. Now, it wasn't easy. Now, I've been calling for weeks and going over there and calling the other lady and calling, and he just hasn't been there. And so when I finally got him the other day, he said, well, I've already submitted it, and I sent him, because I had left the flyer for the cookout in the 504 paper, but he acted like he didn't have it, on his desk. So I reset that. And so I checked today because he was like, I should be able to let you know something by the end of the day. So, it's just for 100 people. But when I seen the total, that was close to $1,000, just that they're able to donate. And so I am so thankful because when I tell you in the past, I was getting up with the crack of dawn, cooking stuff the night before, loading up the car, taking grills to the park, doing hot dogs on the grill. And I'm not saying I still won't do some hot dogs and stuff for the kids, but this is going to take a huge load off of me, just knowing that all I got to do is pick up the food and show up, and then I've been reaching out to people that I know to see if they want to donate drinks, chips, things like that. So my advice to somebody is don't be afraid to ask, especially if you're a person that has constantly been looking out for other people, constantly. Like I say it all the time, I done bought candles, books, plates, whatever people's been selling, I've been supporting for years. And I might not have never read the book, the food might have been nasty, but I support it because I support your vision. And so, in this season, I'm like, Lord, I know I got good seed in the ground. So it's gotta come back.
So that's exactly what I was just getting ready to say. Like you do a lot for other people, and it seems like at the time when you need something done for you, he always finds a way to make sure he fills in that gap for what you need and what's necessary. Talk a little bit about what made you want to this organization. I know we talked a little bit about what it is and what it does, but why is it so near and dear to your heart?
Um, I would say because I moved to Nashville 17 years ago. I had a 5-year-old. I had two 5-month-old twins, and I had $200 in my minivan, and I paid my homeboy like 200 and some dollars. And what belonged is I sold stuff to have money to come down here, and I stayed with my sister for 3 months. And for somebody who had been on their own since I was 19 and had moved out on, I had been on my own. So that was challenging. And so I moved in Edge Hill. And so just some of the challenges that I faced is being a single mother and being away from my comfort zone, as far as my family. And even though I had family here, people don't be fooling with me. I mean, people don't fool with you for real. They'll sell you a dream and you get here. And while I was there, it was all good. And then once I moved out, it was just like I never moved here. And so when the twins were 2, I had Elvis, and Elvis has Cornelia D. Lang syndrome, which is a rare genetic disorder. And so, yeah, that was a lot. Just having to get him back and forth to all these doctor's appointments and having to take the twins with me, and so for years I wasn't able to work because it was cheaper to stay home and get public assistance versus trying to pay daycare for 2-year-old toddlers. And then now here I got a special needs child that the world in which we live in, you don't trust everybody to be taking care of your kids. And so, That's him in the background if you hear this noise. But he could start school with a disability at 3. So I talk to God like I talk to anybody else. I'd be like, Lord, okay, he can go to school. I need you to bless me with this job. So I worked at Metro as a office assistant, and it wasn't like a full 40 hours, but I was able to have some income. And so, as me and you have discussed in the past, the reason why I really need that help this year, because my financial situation has changed. And part of moms and the purpose and the mission of moms is to help mothers get off of government assistance, to help mothers come out of marginalized systems, whether that be racism, sexism, poverty, whatever that is. That's what moms is all about. What can we do to empower you, to educate you, to help you to be better? Not just because we know, not just for the mothers, but we know this is like a two-gen situation. So if the mother can be better, guess what? The whole family is going to be better. And that's going to change the trajectory of your family. And so, I'm transparent. Since I've been working this job that I'm on since the end of March, I no longer qualify for food stamps. And so in the past, that's what I use to provide the food for the classes, to provide the food for the cookouts. And so this year, I'm like, Lord, I just don't have it like that because food is high.
Yeah, but
And,
he got he made a
yeah,
way.
yeah. And so when I was just at the store, buy one, get one free on the Boston Butts, but the Boston Butts is $23 just for one. So, they done said it's buy one, get one free, but they done jacked up the prices. Really,
Yeah,
you paying for two. You know what I'm saying? So
because
it's just like, yeah, because they used to be 8, 10, 12, but not no 23, 25, $30. Come on now. So it's just like he always comes through. And this is something that even though sometimes we be like, man, like I wish I could just go back or, like this rent that I'm paying.
yeah,
But if that's my prayer, I gotta ride it out. And even, I want to be a homeowner. So wanting to be a homeowner, God is preparing me to go from paying based on income rent to paying a mortgage.
mhm,
And sometimes it's not comfortable. It's very uncomfortable, but you have to grow.
yeah. Like I was someone, I don't get the opportunity to tell this part of my story a lot, but I use every.
I'm sorry. These kids done came in here.
It's okay. I use every piece of government assistance that I qualify for. So if I could get Section 8, I did Section 8. If I could do food stamps, I did food stamps. If I could get any type of free class in education, anything that I could do to help get myself to where I am now. And I even use like first time homeowner programs and different things that I qualify for being a single mother with children that wasn't making a whole lot of money. So I always tell people, if you're really serious about wanting to do something for yourself, there's help out here. You just have to be serious with finding it. Whether it's a program like Moms or something that MDHA does, or something that a church, or even like a Salvation Army, because they're the ones that help me with finding the money to get my house. So
Okay.
yeah, Salvation Army has a first time homeowner program, and they gave me a little over $8,000. And all I had to do was go through a class, an 8 hour
Right.
class. And that class was actually really beneficial because it talked to me about how to pay my house off earlier, how to prepare for some of the things that a lot of people don't realize that you have to go through when you're a homeowner. It's great. I won't never tell anybody it's not. But when it's bad and things are breaking and you don't have maintenance that you can call and you got to figure out how to
Right.
fix it or pay a couple hundred to $1,000 for somebody else to come, that's the side of home ownership that the Salvation Army talked to us about and helped me prepare for before coming into this program, and then when it was before coming into this house, and then when I got here, it's me with making sure I didn't make poor decisions on like trying to refinance my house too early, take money out of it, or anything like that. So I commend you for being someone that one tells your story of the things that you've been able to use to get where you are, and then being somebody that also creates something to help somebody else that's coming behind you, and hopefully it's these younger girls,
Right.
because I think they need it
Because
the most.
they do. I mean, my whole thing is it's available. You know what I'm saying? So use it for what it is, which is a stepping stone. But a lot of
Yeah,
our people get complacent. You know, they it makes them lazy. You know, they good with a dude just get busting their head like we used to say, or whatever the case is. Like, take this opportunity, because if these people that's in these government offices and things have their way, they don't want us to get no help.
yeah,
So while you in school, go back to TN Reconnect, go through job center and get your CNA, or go get your welding degree, or go take the construction class at Goodwill. Like, there is no excuse for nobody not to be better if they have the desire. You know,
they,
that's what I do every day. I have people come in. I have a lot of women that's fled different cities on domestic violence cases. They're staying at the Nashville Rescue Mission, you know, and it's like, I don't know why y'all pick Nashville to come to, because the cost of living, but I'm going to do my best to help you get yourself together so y'all can get in some housing, so you can get the resources that you need. You know, if you want to go back to school, like whatever you want to do, it's available. But the system is set up really for us to fail. It is. And so
yeah,
people just got to understand, you got to help yourself.
yep.
You have
This
to help yourself.
This is so true. Well, Monique, I always like to add like a little twist or a little zinger into my interviews. And what I want to do is I want to ask you a series of questions, and you got to say the first thing that comes off your head. So you can't think about it. You just got to blurt out the first thing that you're thinking about.
Okay.
Let's see.
And I'm
All right.
multitasking, y'all, because I asked them kids to take the smaller ones somewhere else for 30 minutes. And you see that didn't happen. So excuse me, because I don't like being unprofessional. But I'm ready.
Listen, I'm a mom. A lot of my viewers understand we're gonna make it happen one way or the other. So do what you need to do. But I'm gonna throw this first question out there to you, and it says, if you could have any one superpower, what would you want to have?
I think for me, it's ending poverty.
That's your okay. I love that superpower.
Yeah, like
Now
I don't like to see people struggle.
I love that. Where would you go if you could visit any place on earth?
I want to go to Jerusalem.
Ooh, okay.
I would have said Hawaii, but I'm scheduled to go there in November. So I'll say Jerusalem or Africa.
I love it. And what would you bring if you could take just one item to a deserted island?
I definitely got to have my music.
And who would win in a fight against each other, Superman or Batman?
You froze up. You said Superman or who?
Who would win in a fight against Superman or Batman against each other if they had to fight each other?
I don't get off into them like that, but I would say Superman.
All right. And my last one is, who would you invite if you can invite to three people to dinner, and they could be living or dead?
Yeah, we just did that the other week. And so I most definitely would invite Al Green, Queen Latifah,
Yes.
and either Winona Judd or Elvis Presley.
Great choices. So you're definitely gonna have a lit situation with all three of those people that you just mentioned. Great
We're
places.
gonna rock out, baby.
Well, listen, talk. Well, you gave us some insight about what you have coming up as far as your next couple of events. If people are interested in being able to donate to your nonprofit, how do they get in touch with you, or how can they either partner with you on some of the events that you're doing in the community?
I am definitely collaborating with my other sisters out here because I definitely know that we are stronger together. And I just host these classes. So I don't want to get up every month and be the same face thinking I know everything, because I do not. I just get the space, I provide the topic, I look for speakers that's already skilled and trained in the topic that we're coming forth on. And so I plug the pieces together. That's what I'm good at. But if anyone would like to reach out and definitely follow my Facebook page at Moms Nashville. I post free resources in the community, things that's going on. That's a good way to stay connected to me. I do have an Instagram page. It's at Mom's Organization Nashville, I believe, but I'm not on there much. So just catch me on Facebook for real. And if anybody wanted to donate, I do have a Cash App set up, and that's at Moms Nashville, $ Moms Nashville as well. And so your monies will go towards, having food each month at the classes, because I understand sometimes you don't have it. And if you out and about, you definitely don't have money to stop and get fast food or whatever the case is. So I never want a mom to come, or a mother to come and bring the kids and not have anything to eat. I just love to feed people, and so the monies go towards that, the supplies that I need right now. And so as I grow and get some grants and get some funding, I want to be a coach to help work with moms, where it won't really cost them anything, so that they can come in and we can really work with them and not have to go by these guidelines and stipulations that I have to go on by my job on my job, because they say they want to give people a hand up, but it's still like it's only a certain level that you can help them. And so that's why I wanted to start my own organization, because I want to be able to do what God has put in my heart to do, to be a blessing to others. And so yeah, that's just stay connected. I post my flyers each month for whatever event is coming up. I know January I usually do a vision board party. This past November we did a mom's giving. I cooked the whole Thanksgiving meal, girl. Like, that was a lot of work. And we did like a sip and paint. We had a good time. We had some ladies come that were deaf. That was a different experience. And they were able to get out, and they had an interpreter. And for them, that was really major. Yeah, that was really major for them, because, people alienate you when you're different. And by being a special needs mother, people don't fool with you, like, real talk. Very few, but it's like I don't even feel comfortable going over people's house and taking my son, because I know his behaviors, and he's strong and he flips couches and he tears up stuff. So I stay home. Or, if I take him somewhere, I got to have his stroller. So for them to be able to come and partake in that, and, just be around other mothers and other, women, and have somebody communicating what's being said. And, that was so major for them. And it was really major for me that they were able to come and take part in that. So I don't care. You can be white, black. I don't discriminate. If you got a disability, if you I got another lady in a wheelchair. So, I try to find, I had the one event that I really wanted her to come to. It was upstairs, and, it just didn't work out. But, I want to be able to get my own building so that we can do this. You know what I'm saying? If we need to call your child, your kids, my kids, like, hey, we're going to pay y'all to babysit while we be over here in this area, because it's hard to focus and hard to unwind to go places when you have to watch the kids. Y'all stop. Y'all come here. And we know these kids nowadays, baby, they got energy like kryptonite. This woman came in this morning for an intake, and she had a 3-year-old little girl. And when I tell you, she wore me down. And so, but, any way that we can support moms just to get a break sometimes, or just to come out and learn, Like,
Yeah.
it's so much information out here, and some people hasn't been taught properly. Some people just don't know. Ignorance, and it is not a bad thing, but that's what the word says. We perish because we just don't know. So it's our job. Once I get on, I'm gonna come back and put you on. You know what I'm saying? Once you get on, you can go back and put somebody else on. So each one reach one, each one teach one, whatever the saying is. So that's just what it's all about. I was raised in kind of, in a diverse my mother was a housekeeper for rich white families, or middle class to rich white families. Then I grew up in church where there were middle class black families, and I was raised in the hood, like the real hood. So I thank God all the time that I had those other outlets to go see different things, how different people live. So you famous, okay, what that mean? You know what I'm saying? I'm not, okay. In my man, I'm just as whatever as you, my girl, because really we all are one. We're all the same. And so I learned a lot, growing up in that, because I'm nosy, so I'm in the rooms meddling and seeing what I can find, and you learn a lot, like. And so all of that has helped me to be the person that I am today. And I do have a grandbaby. She's 2. And so I want her to be rich. I don't want her to have to be in the system on these. Not saying that, right now her mother can't take advantage of that, but I want her to be in position to where when I leave this earth, I know for a fact my grandbaby don't have to struggle. So this
That
is what
makes
I'm doing
sense.
this for. This is what I want to leave something behind. I want to leave a legacy. I want to leave generational wealth. I want to leave knowledge, because she's so smart at 2. So if we can just do things differently than what I might have been able to do with her mother, and being overwhelmed as a single mother of 4, and having to put more on her, because I didn't have support, and she, missed out on her childhood, a lot of what kids were doing. But I don't know, girl. It'd be a lot. But as we start unpacking this trauma, because counseling services is important too. That's why I offer, I'll have counseling services for people, because surviving trauma,
Yeah.
surviving poverty, that's traumatizing in itself.
It's not easy. It's not
Yeah.
easy. I do have a question before we wrap up, though. Are fathers, any single fathers, able to participate in the things that you have going on, or do you just reserve your programs for mothers?
I mean, they can come out. Again, I don't discriminate. I don't care who come, to be honest, but when I started it, that was my demographic. I did talk to a friend of mine who is a single father, and I try to encourage him to start something for single dads. But right now he's going back to school, and he's a teacher at KIPP. So he's probably got his plate full. So, maybe in the near future, there's a single father out there that say, hey, like, there's no support for us, and maybe they can connect with me, and I can teach them what I know, and then they can get something up and going. And then sometimes we can collaborate and have events together, and come together. It might be some matchmaking going on, and then you got a single a father and a mother, and now you got a family, So I'm open to that. And I'm open to anybody, out here, whether it's financial literacy, whether, you work with domestic violence women, women coming out of prison. Like, it's all type of demographic of single mothers out here. So we have to really reach people where they're at to help them be better. And we're not turning our nose down, and if you come in and, like the mothers just to pull us to the side, baby, you could do that a little different. Maybe you can wear something a little better, or, you have to, because people don't know. We have to teach them. These are babies out here having kids.
Yeah,
So,
that's fair. That's
like
so
this little girl, 18-year-old girl came in my job yesterday with these super thin white shorts with, like, to the crack. And then I'm like, she said she was 18 months pregnant. And I said, please call and come back and make an appointment with me. Because I said, I'm going to be waiting on you at the door. And it's not for me to say it in a mean, harsh way, but it's for us to say it out of love. Like, clearly you can look at people and tell the ones that know better and who don't. You know what
True.
I'm saying? So if that's the case, I'm gonna come to you not to embarrass you, not to make you feel bad about yourself, but just to say, sis, you might wanna. You need some clothes. Let me refer you to Dress for Success, or let me help you get to a thrift store, or somewhere that they can help you. I know it's 30 minutes, but we just got to really start teaching people, because yeah, the stuff I be seeing sometimes you be like, wow, that's all you can say.
As a mother of three daughters, that's something that I'm always just like, do better. And I know a lot of the time, a lot of pushback or a lot of negative critique. But the way that you represent yourself when you're out, whether you're going to the store, you're running an errand, when you're going into these establishments, it matters.
Yeah.
And it puts a negative reflection on others when you don't think about those types of things. You might not be in that space of your life right now, but eventually you're going to get to a place where you're going to want better jobs, you're going to want better opportunities, and you're going to want more for yourself. And when you hit that space, that means you got to do some things different. And that's take the bonnet off, get you some
I hate
longer
those.
skirt. I
They need to
mean,
burn every last one of them, because they be looking like the
I
Pillsbury
need them in
Doughboy.
the house. I need them
Yeah.
at, but you stay in the house with that bonnet
And
on.
it's getting worse, sis. I mean, they coming out to Opry Mills in whole pajamas and the bonnet and the house shoes. Like, you didn't do nothing for you left the house. You
Like,
just woke up and turned over.
yeah. I mean, we have to do better.
Oh,
But
I'm
I
sorry.
thank you for taking just the time to come in and talk to us a little bit more about what Moms is doing around the Nashville scene, about how you're impacting the lives of women all across not just Davidson County, but there's multiple women that you're interacting with. Definitely, if any of my viewers want to reach out, website is down on the bottom. She gave you all of her social media handles. And ever want to be able to donate, gift any type of resources, things of that nature, or pull up at one of the events. Reach
Yeah,
out.
and even if you want to like just drop off some pops, or some chips, or just if you got some food and you want to cater or donate, or say, hey, I'll sponsor food for this class this month. Like, all of it helps. All of it helps, especially when it's coming out of my pocket and taken away from my household. So I definitely appreciate you, and just what you've been to me so far in this season. And you are going to be my publicist, because Moms is going to go nationwide, baby. I'm speaking it right here. July the 13th, Moms is going to be in all 50 states. I'm sorry, 50
Yes,
states before this is up. I just need other like-minded women who can help and commit to starting a chapter in their city. And that's how, once it really get out there about what I've been doing, because I've been working, okay? People be working behind the scenes. Folks that act like they'll scroll all day long and like everything, but act like they don't see your flyers. They can't share your events. And that's all good. But just know I've been putting in the work. So when I blow up in this season, it didn't just happen overnight. But God, this is my winning season. And everything attached to Miss Latoya, is it Latoya? She
yes,
said it the other day that it's gonna win, and I'm attached to her. So we all win.
we all winning.
We all winning. We all in. So we gonna get to Jerusalem. We gonna get to Africa. We got my passport ready. It hasn't even been used. But look, for real though, God is about to really move on behalf of the believers, on behalf of the ones that's been faithful, on behalf of the ones that people didn't take you under their wings and sow and help you. They could have. God is going to be moving. So be ready, and won't nobody be able to get the glory but him. That's why I had to go down the way that it did. Don't take it personal. Just understand it was to grow you. It was to stretch you. And now it's harvest season, baby.
Let's go. I
You
think
know
that's
I'll start preaching, but it's harvest season.
I
Yes, God.
say perfect, perfect, perfect
Yes,
place.
God. I would bring her on here, but she done been to daycare. She'll look. Say hi. Hey.
Hey. Oh, she's a cutie. Listen,
She is.
it is harvest season, like you said, and I can't wait to get things that happen for me, for you, for everyone that we're connected to. You guys know how I always end these episodes. Until next time, folks, we are out of here.
Peace. A-Town down. Don't mess around. Peace.